Hello Captains, welcome back to Prepared version 4.3 and my ongoing quest to updating my sim bit by bit. Now in the last video I'd updated my settings only, and I hadn't updated fully all my settings. There were a few settings that I had to consult a couple of manuals because I use, or I will be using in the future, software that will rely on settings in a particular way. So I quickly have added them in, and we looked at it, and it did really improve, and we had a play about as well with some of the settings here, especially the world settings. Had a play about and found that I've got all my sliders pretty much boomed, and getting good frames. Now, the only other one that I've clicked is I hadn't clicked use high resolution terrain textures. So I've clicked that now. So we're going to see a big difference in the actual terrain textures itself. Another thing I've done is I've properly set my HDR lighting to the tomato shade preset. I haven't installed a tomato shade preset, but I did install PTA Assistant, and I installed Matt Davies PTA Assistant preset 1.3. But I've used the tomato shades settings for what they used for their HDR lighting and their shadows. I've sort of taken cues from them. So we're going to run the sim with PTA Assistant installed and Matt Davies preset installed, and then the other half of the video we're going to use Tomato Shades preset. That's the kind of preset that I prefer playing in, or I prefer using in. Also, another thing I need to do, which I need to do in the sim, is change my zoom to 0.5 for the camera work, which by the looks of it Chaseplane actually hasn't loaded yet for some reason. We'll have to sort that out. So let's go in. I don't know why it's not loaded, Chaseplane. I did get a notification when I started this up saying there were some changes from the cloud to what's locally, and they've made that adjustment, but it shouldn't have stopped Chaseplane loading. So I'm very interested as to why Chaseplane is not loading in now. So we'll soon find out, and we'll soon sort that out. So again, we've got the default airport of Oakland. I'll find out. I'm going to start Chaseplane manually, actually. Which is old props. Start that manually. Might even have to. Why isn't it started? Or has it started and I can't see it? Oh, there we go. That's it. Chaseplane. Okay. So we're in Oakland. I've just got to these ones here. It's on 1.0. I just need to change that to 0.5. And update preset position. Wing view 0.5. I think we can go slightly forward on that one. Update preset position. Wheel view, that's going to change a lot. 0.5. We need to go forward, back. Oops. A little bit. Look away. What's going on here? Backward a bit. Jeez, see, I want to get there, go down. I have to turn it about, I think, for some reason. Doing that. do. Update that position and spot with the camera 0.5. We want to go in a little bit closer than that. So, bit forward, that'll do. Right. And update that preset position. There we go. So, these should be still 0.35, which is fine. Okay. So, back to the sim now. For me, all I've done again is installed PTA Assistant and changed the settings. I mean, them trees look pretty good, to be honest. They actually look realistic. The building now looks a bit more worn and torn and looks a lot better. My frames have not taken a hit one bit. They still look exactly the same. The texturing looks a lot better, I think. You know, even inside the aircraft, the texturing here, leather look. Out the window, that ground looks a lot more like tarmac now. Plus also, we've updated to high resolution textures from standard resolution textures. So everything looks a lot better straight away. Yeah, I do like the look of this much better. So let's release the park and brake and let's go for a flight. I mean, for me, everything looks, it's getting better. It's looking a lot better. You know? Flaps down. Yeah. Okay. So we're in Oakland, and then we'll go to the Grand Canyon, check out what that looks like, and go to DFW, rotate. Ooh, a bit high, not too much. So yeah, it looks miles better. Let's bring them flaps up. It looks a lot better already, look at that. It looks a lot better. Everything looks 10 times better. We're going to go for that landing over there. The water even looks better, to be honest. We did change a little bit with the trim that down a bit. We did change a little bit with the water detail, the water special effects and stuff like that. But still look a little bit blurry on the ground, you know? The buildings have more detail. This looks more darker than it was before. That looks more darker. Everything looks darker on the ground. I think that's the preset settings, as opposed to actually the preset. The sky looks bluer, to be fair. I don't like the fact that it's a right flat horizon line. That looks a little bit unrealistic. But the water does look good. It's getting slowly better. I can see a difference, you know. Right, let's bring it down. We're gonna land this puppy, and then we're gonna head over to DFW. Frames are around 50 frames, which is okay. It's fine. Yeah. It sounds a bit loud. Let's turn this down a bit. Right. We did bring our flaps up, didn't we? Yeah. So let's have first stage of flaps. Water looks a lot better. I can see a lot more detail of the water. I do prefer this look than the previous look. So the changes that have been made have been significant. You know, especially I think the high resolution textures. Clicking that one button, which requires a restart of the sim, I think that really has changed as well. Stage of flaps. Go with final stage of flaps now. Premature with the flaps, I think. So we're gonna hit that tree. Skip over it. I'm kind of looking at the buildings here. I'm getting a bit distracted by the scenery. Right, let's land this puppy. Slightly off center, I know, but that's life. Flare, drop the engine, float, land. Sorted. Right, I mean, yeah, these buildings look a lot better. They look really good. I can't wait until I install my Rex Airports HD, because all the airports, all the default airports, really get an increase. So there we go. To be honest, like the view we've got now as to the view we had before has improved greatly. The frames are, you know, set the parking brake. The frames have really increased as well. I'm really happy so far with the changes. I think it's going great. DFW is going to be, this is where we're going to be tested, because the frames were just dog turds, weren't they? In DFW, it was real low frame rate, and we're probably going to have the same here now. But it'd be interesting because you know what it will look like with the preset put in and everything. I'll be interested to see that. I'm seeing a difference in the settings, but the PTA Assistant, I'm not seeing a great difference with Matt Davies. You know, the second half of this video we're going to use the shaders. So yeah, this doesn't look too much different than the other video, to be fair. When we go to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video before we go to the Grand Canyon. So we've done, this will be the second airport. So I think for the Grand Canyon, I'm going to change from Matt Davies to Tomato Shade. Actually, no, I'll keep it actually, because I want to see the difference. Right, so, well, yeah, we'll keep it. I mean, this does look, yeah. Here we go. Positive rate of climb, flaps can come up. I mean, I can tell the shadow detail increase. By increasing the shadow detail, I can, yeah. I kind of almost get the feeling that when you have lower settings in sim, it restricts a lot of things. That airport looks pretty cool. That looks a lot better than the default. I haven't changed the airport. The airport is still default DFW, but when we had the default settings and everything, that looked a little bit worse. That looks a lot better. Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that when you change the default settings and you restrict and limit, I kind of get the feeling that it does hurt your frames more than it would, because our frames are a little bit more acceptable here than they were before, and I've increased a lot of stuff, so that's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, it's looking a lot better now. I will say it's looking a lot better. I think it's going to change big when I introduce the weather system, Active Sky, Rex Skyforce, Rex Environment. I think that's going to be the big difference. Because at the moment, it's just looking normal. And we do need to have a look and see what it looks like in the sort of rainy days. That freeway looks a bit freaky. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's going good. Yeah, trees look a lot more realistic now. In fact, this section here looks a lot more realistic than it did before. Textures, I can't believe. I don't even know how long I've been flying with that off, high resolution textures turned off. But it looks a lot better now. Definitely. Buildings look a lot better. Yep. It's all good. Right, so let's head over to the Grand Canyon now and pop in National Park. So it's now about it's about 10 to 12 UK time, which is the time we're flying, and we're not using live weather at all. We're using set weather. We're using Chaseplane. I've got the C152 installed. I've got PTA Assistant with Matt Davies preset installed, and that's it so far. Everything else is normal. I think the flaps do need to be set here. Okay. Excuse me. Pardon me. Right. Quite high in the sky, so we've got to be careful with takeoff here. Let's go for it. Pull back. Really got to watch the takeoff. And I've never really flown a C152 in the Grand Canyon, and yeah, you've really got to be careful. Trees definitely look a lot more realistic. Just looking outside, I can definitely tell trees, the terrain, all looks a lot more realistic. Right. We're gonna make a turn for west now. Bring the flaps up. Still need to start descending. So we can trim up a bit. So yeah, the next flight we're going to do, when we pass over this Grand Canyon area, we're going to go over the UK again to see Birmingham and see how that's affected. And after I've installed the Ultimate Realism pack, which is in the next video, I'm going to add another flight to our plan. I'm going to add Africa. I want to be able to see a difference between Africa pre-FS Global and then post-FS Global. So, at the moment, it's looking flat. There's not much definition in the hillsides here. And that's one thing that I really want to be able to see, is that definition. So. Texture-wise, the texture of the ground looks exactly the same. I don't see any real difference. I can see difference in the roads. That looks like a train track actually. I can see the difference definitely in the trees. They look good. But everything else, like, yeah. I don't see that much of a difference really. So, okay, I think we can now safely trim off. So for those of you who are just watching this for the first time, if you go back to video 1, you'll see what P3D looks like, 4.3 with everything default, even with a default aircraft as well. And I think in the second video I loaded in the Goflight C152, which is the most basic single engine you can fly really. This is flying properly basic, and this is the plane we're going to use as we go through. I do have a whole host of planes available to fly, and I'll be introducing them one slowly at a time. Right, it does look a little bit different. These textures, they look a lot more, there's a bit more definition now in the rocks here, which I think the preset PTA Assistant helps with. I can't say that it's a massive change in the sim though. The presets, it doesn't look that massive. But I can definitely tell that the textures look a lot better. They look more like rock now than they did before. It's the top bit here that looks funky, that looks weird. And here, obviously, Grand Canyon's not as Grand Canyon-y as it could be, but we haven't installed FS Global Ultimate N Next Generation, which uses the most up-to-date satellite data for the mesh, and I think once that's installed, we're going to see a big difference flying over this region here. This is going to look super awesome. So I think now we're going to go to the UK, blend it here. We've seen what it looks like flying through. In fact, actually, let's just go to that that river. Let's just see that river. It's down here, wasn't it? There it is. That river looks a little bit more defined as well. The bottom of the canyon looks a lot different. perspective here as well. A little scenery breaking up here. Looks of it. Yeah, there's a little bit more definition. So there we go. That's that one. And now let's go to Birmingham Airport and see what it's like taking off from Birmingham. I can't imagine this is going to be that much different than what we saw before. Because the only thing I've really changed is shading and a couple of tweaks of the settings, and that's it really. But it's just really the shaders that I've installed. But I think when I put in the tomato shade preset, that's going to be the biggest one, and that's going to be on the next video. Right, whack this sucker up and let's go. Airport's okay. So we're going to run our runway here. Let's get our flaps down. That's better. A bit more aerodynamic now. And this thing will just pop off in the air by itself. This will fly. This tells me when it wants to go up. You know, it just lifts without having to really push anything like that. It just takes off. Oop, don't want to stall. Flaps up. Yeah, look at that. That's a lot better. A lot different. Trees look a lot better, buildings look a lot better. See a water tower now. Frames are still okay. Frames are acceptable frames. There is a slight little stutter though. I do notice that, which could be masked by Chaseplane. The things they have in Chaseplane, the motion effects, you know, could tweak that a little bit to hide some of the effects of the jerkiness. Like I feel that breathing could be pumped up a little bit here. You know? That's a bit better here. Buildings, look at them buildings now. They look a lot different. They look a lot more defined. You can see the windows now. Before you couldn't. Before they looked pants. My frames are probably averaging 25, which is where I like them. The buildings look a lot better. Gosh, big difference. Big difference. But all that detail now off from the distance. Didn't have that before. You know, that's just the shading that is sort of making it look a bit 3D. But even the reflections of the tires here with the sun looks amazing. Birmingham does look a lot better, but still no real definition in the landscape. But I have noticed now there is a blue haze on the horizon, which kind of masks that horizon. It didn't have that before, so I definitely noticed a big difference with the shaders. There we go. I think that's it really. I mean, big difference when you start playing with a few settings, you know? Big difference. Frames are kind of jumping a bit, but they're steady at, you know, wonder if I put instead of having unlimited frames, if I actually said target that to 25, what would happen? So it doesn't really spike over that, does it? This is smooth though. Moving that smooth. Well, I know that my frames are never going to get to 60, so I could say target at 60, and then anything that goes over 60, you know, is a win. So there is a bit of me, or things look different, or is it just because we're at high altitude? It does look different now that I've done that. Let's go back to unlimited. Right then, so that's that. Thanks for watching this one. In the next video, I'll have installed the Ultimate Realism pack, and I'll have installed the Tomato Shade preset, and you'll be able to see what it looks like with those added and what difference it is to just the regular PTA Assistant shader. And then the next video after that, we're doing a big sim update. So send us your comments. If you like what you see, like it, subscribe to it, and let me know what flight you would like me to fly. Take care for now. Bye-bye.